I see you. I see.
I bring it down like.
I see you. I see.
I bring it down like.
Lofi Poli Sci, how we doing out there? Lofi Studios out in New Orleans. What's going on in your world today? Right into the show to let us know. Okay, down to business. We got our wild cherry dot Pepsi, and we got that bubblicious bubble gum, like always. And we got that feeling. It's time for some Asia news, people. Right. So there's been so much going on. We got lots to catch up on. Like, at the very end of August, just over a month ago, out in Thailand, Prime Minister Thaksin was removed from office by the country's courts for possible corruption and collusion with Cambodia, which Thailand recently, and at that time, was in the middle of a little border war. So it'd be pretty bad if your prime minister was in league with the enemy. They're removed from office. Yes. But then just a week later, her dad, another former Prime Minister Thaksin, well, they were sentenced to 1 year in prison for corruption from his earlier time in office. What to say? A family dynasty of political power, from generation to generation, from father to daughter. But a family of political dynasty that's being taken down, perhaps? We're still waiting to hear what's going to happen to the most recent former Prime Minister Thaksin. But just because they were ousted of power, does that really mean they're gone? Well, we'll have to wait and see. But something tells me she's still around. And if you didn't hear about a little protest out in Nepal last month, well, there was a little protest out in Nepal that turned into a big protest, that turned into the kind of protest that burns parliament to the ground, ousts the prime minister of the country, collapses the entire government, and brings in the military to create a joint transitional government. All in the matter of days. You know, that we have no idea right now where Nepal is going to go moving forward. Nepal is at a crossroads. Nepal threw off the sheets of the old government, and something new will come to take its place. But what it'll look like, and if it'll survive, these are the questions that right now we're not anywhere close to answering. Talks are being had. That's where we're at. The next thing is to take those talks into a proposed new government, maybe a new constitution, or amending the old constitution, but all of that's up to the people of Nepal. Or at least, to the people in the talks. Now, if you're curious out there, Nepal's Freedom House score from 0 to 100, before the protest and the ousting of the government, it was a 62 out of 100, a partially free rating. Next up, we are checking out things in Pakistan and Saudi Arabia, where these two countries had formally signed a new defense pact. That's right, strengthening coordination and collaboration between the two countries. But wait, it could be more. Could it be a call to aid in the times of trouble? Well, that's certainly starting to take shape, as Pakistan is hoping that Saudi Arabia will begin investing large sums of money and having perhaps some new foreign direct investment into the country from Saudi Arabia. That's right. Right now in Pakistan, meetings are going on. Saudi Arabian officials are there to see about economic investment and development in Pakistan, which is great because Saudi Arabia definitely has the money. They are, economically and wealth-wise, one of the developed countries of the world, and Pakistan is not. Pakistan has a lot of room to grow, and they could benefit from this new development if it takes place. We'll keep you updated for sure on how things go. Now, let's move on over to Afghanistan, where the ruling party of the Taliban had turned off the entire internet of a country for days. And yes, a country can turn off the internet. And yes, that's including the country you're sitting in right now. All governments can turn off the internet. But when a country turns off the internet, when a country's internet disappears, so too do the people from the eyes of the world. You see, when a government cuts the internet, it's never for a good thing. And the people of the country, well, something's going to happen to them. Something bad. Now, the Taliban said that they didn't cut the whole internet off, and it's all back and running now, and they were just making the internet more moral as it were. And they said that it's not a big deal. And to that we say, Taliban, we don't believe a word that you say. You said that women would be respected this time in your new ruling government. You lied. You lied. You oppressed women just as much as you did in the 90s and the early 2000s. And now the internet has been manipulated by the Taliban. And we promise you, it is not going to be for a good reason. It's highly likely it's going to be used for mass surveillance and arrests. Eyes open on Afghanistan, people. Eyes open. And a last piece of news to send you on your way for the day. To India and China, we go. The two largest countries in the world by population. What's the size of each? Which is larger? What percentage of the global population do they make together when you combine their populations? Send me those stats by Friday, October 10th at 11 p.m. and get a piece of that lo-fi pie in the sky. And yes, we do mean those points to the bonus. Well, these two countries have finally, after 5 years, as neighboring countries, well, they've been always neighboring countries, but neighboring countries for the past 5 years live right next door to each other. They are going to resume direct flights between the countries. Yeah, because direct flights weren't happening. Direct flights were stopped in 2020 due to COVID. And it's taken 5 years to resume those flights. Why? This is not about COVID. Catch us on Instagram and YouTube to write into the show. And don't forget to eat your cereal with a fork and do your homework in the dark. Love you, Lo-Fi. And this, just a snap of what's going on in the world today.
I see.
I bring it down like.
Always remember that Lofi Poli Sci is more than just me. It's the we that we be.